Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to the first in our Jewish History micro-series. If you open the back of a traditional Vilna Shas, you will find this classic commentary known as the Mordechai. The Mordechai, as it is known in yeshivas, has an extraordinary and important influence in Jewish law, in the development of halacha, in particular for Ashkenazi Jews. The Mordechai is quoted all the time by the Ramah, Rav Moshe Isserlis in Krakow, in shaping and sculpting Torah practice in our halacha today. But what's curious is that the Mordechai, this commentary, it comes in multiple editions. There's one edition known as the Mordechai of Rhinus. The other one is the Mordechai of Ostreich. And then there's also a Hagos Mordechai. Why are there so many editions, so much confusion about the text of the Mordechai, as is evidenced, for example, in Shin Pei Beis, in the laws of Reuven? If you look in the Beis Yosef, he quotes, he says, different students edited different versions. Why is it that there is so much confusion? And who was the Mordechai? The Chida, one of the great Torah scholars of the 19th century, wrote a sefer called Shem HaGedolim, Names of Great People. And in there, he gives you brief biographical sketches of Torah sages over the generations. And he says that this great sage, Rav Mordechai ben Hillel, the son-in-law of Rav Yechiel MiParis, the great Tosafist from Paris, was the student of the Maharam of Württemberg, Rav Meir ben Baruch of Rothenburg. The famed Maharam ben Württemberg was the great Jewish leader, the end of the period of the Tosfos, in the end of the 13th century. We assume that the Mordechai, whose father's name was Hillel, Rav Mordechai ben Hillel, was born around the year 1240. But unfortunately, in 1298, the Jewish communities of Germany and Austria were decimated by a brutal massacre known later as the Rindfleisch massacres. The Rindfleisch massacres were trumped-up allegations against Jews involving a fake libel about the desecration of the host, and it basically grew out of an internal political struggle, which of course spilled over, unfortunately, to Jewish communities. 120 Jewish communities were destroyed in the Rindfleisch massacres. Over 100,000 Jews were brutally murdered, and among them was the great Talmud Chacham, the great sage, Rav Mordechai ben Hillel. It's because Rav Mordechai ben Hillel passed away before his Piskei Halacha, before his halachic rulings were edited and collated, is that we have so many different divergent editions. Because Rav Mordechai ben Hillel didn't ever publish his commentary or his responsa. It was students who afterwards collected the various teachings of the Mordechai and published them, sewed them together in the different editions. Rav Mordechai ben Hillel, one of the great Rishonim just after the period of the Baalei HaTosfos, shaped our halacha from his generation until today, and his neshama should have an aliyah as we connect to him and to all of the Torah learning that he bequeathed to us in his lifetime and through his Kiddush Hashem.